Hi guys, welcome to another video. I do appreciate that you're watching this video right now, and I promise you it's very good. It's of good value. I didn't come up with this information on my own. I actually took it from BABYPIPS.com. So it's really informative, so please watch up to the end because every part of this video is important. So guys, before we do that, please I beg, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on the notification bell. I really want to see progress. There's nothing that is as tiring as work without progression, right? Please help me grow this channel so that other people may also get to know about it, and also for myself, you know, just to get an incentive from the hard work that I put in, right? So today's topic is trading sessions. So for those of you who don't know about trading sessions in the forex market, we have trading sessions, which the three main ones is Tokyo, is New York, and London session, forex trading session. So you will learn a bit more about that as we go with this topic. So let's try to, for now, let's just read what BABYPIPS has to say about the trading sessions, right? Okay, let's find out what BABYPIPS has to say. According to BABYPIPS, this is what we are going to read. They say, now that you know what forex is, according to the first video that I made, why you should trade it, and who makes up the forex market. By the way guys, if you want to know who makes up the forex market, I have information on that, but I didn't make a video on it because I don't know if you want to know about it or not. So they say it's time out it's time you learned when to trade. They say, yes, it is true that forex market is open 24 hours a day, but that doesn't mean it's always active. So it's open 24 hours a day, but still that doesn't mean it's always active. So it might be open 24 hours a day, but in that 24 hours, maybe there are some hours in that 24 hours that there's no activity at all. They say you can make money trading when the market moves up. So when the market moves up, and you can make money when the market moves down. So for those who have not yet visited the graphs, the forex graphs, they move something like this, you know. They will consolidate, then they will go down. So you will know about these ones as time goes, then you will learn about them. And they say but you will have a very difficult time trying to make money when the market doesn't move at all. So according to them, money is made when the market moves up and down. So when it doesn't move at all, you will have a difficult time making money. But it doesn't mean you can't make money, but you will have a difficult time. And they say, and believe us, there will be times when the market is as still as the victim of Medusa. This lesson will help determine when the best times, okay, according to them, with what we are going to learn, is going to help us determine when the best times of the day are to trade, right? I guess we all caught that, I believe. So now let's go down to see what they have for us. So now what we get here is at the top they say market hours. So according to them, we need to know about market hours, right? I don't know why, but we're going to find out. So let's go on. They say just here, they say before looking at the best times to trade, we must look at what a 24 hours a day in forex world looks like. So now they are going to give us the overall thing before they can give us the best times of which we can trade, right? And then they continue. I'm sorry for that. I was trying to do a box. And then they say the forex market can be broken up into 4 major trading sessions. So there's four major trading sessions. So it's major, not that it's only 4 in the whole world. The major, there's 4 major trading sessions. There's the Sydney trading session, the Tokyo trading session, the London, and the New York. So that's the 4 they are talking about. And then they say below are tables of the open and close of each session. So now in the table below, we are going to learn about the open and the close of each of the 4 trading sessions, right? And we get it here. At the top we have indications. Here we have summer, and here we have winter. So according, maybe I don't know, maybe there's different times for each season, right? But we're going to find out. So they say Sydney Open, it's 6 p.m. Europe, no, I don't know, let me just use GMT because I know GMT. So I'm in South Africa, so in South Africa it's GMT plus 2. So they say Sydney Open, it's 10, which is it's 10 p.m. Sydney Opens 10 p.m., which is, in my place, that would be 12, right? Because plus 2. They say Sydney close 7 a.m., which is, to me, 7, 8, 9, that would be 9. I'm just trying to show you guys. That would be 9 for me. So Tokyo Open. So with this one, you are just going to have to take a screenshot. Let me try to align it for your own self. I don't need to go through it. You can just take a screenshot of the summer and also take the screenshot of the winter, so that you can go through it on your own. I don't believe I have to go to it detail by detail. You can make a screenshot, right? So now let's read what they say. They say you can see that in between sessions there is a period of time where 2 sessions are open at the same time. They say from 3 to 4 a.m. the Tokyo session and London session overlap. So you might maybe okay, not even maybe, they're telling us that from 3 to 4 a.m. EDT, Tokyo and London has an overlap. Tokyo and London has an overlap. And then they say from 8 to 12 a.m. the London session and the New York session have overlap. So so from the screenshot you made, you will go on your own to confirm. I already know what that means. I've seen it. You can also go and Google. There's better illustrations of that. Right? Yeah. So they say naturally these are the busiest times during the trading day. These are the busiest time during the trading days. These overlaps, right? These trading overlaps, because there is more volume when 2 markets are open. There is more volume when two markets are open at the same time. This makes sense because during those times all the market participants are wheeling and dealing, which means that more money is transferring hands, right? Which is really making sense, because if there is an overlap and 2 sessions are open at the same time, it means the Tokyo session comes with its people from Tokyo, the London session comes with its people from London. Now there's more volume, there's a lot of traffic, so more money is being transferred, right? As they say also. Now they say now you are probably looking at the Sydney Open and thinking why it shifts 2 hours. They say you think that Sydney Open would only move 1 hour when the US adjusts for standard time. Okay, I didn't get that. Let me read again. They say now you are probably looking at the Sydney Open and thinking why it shifts 2 hours. You'd think that Sydney Open would only move 1 hour when the US adjusts for standard time. Okay, I still don't understand that, but maybe they will they will explain as we go. Maybe they will explain as we go to the next page. And then they say they say right over here, they say, but remember that when US shifts 1 hour back, Sydney actually moves forward by 1 hour. Seasons are opposite in Australia. Oh, they are referring to the summer and the winter. So according to them, there is a shift in the Sydney, only in Sydney, because they didn't mention other places. They said Sydney shift 2 hours and what. So they say you should always remember this if you ever plan to trade during that time period, maybe during that summer or winter season when there's a shift. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much just about that. So they say let's take a look at the average Pip movement of the major. Okay, so they're indicating of the major currency pairs. You know, the opposite of major is minor, meaning maybe there is minor currency pairs, but we're going to find out as we read. They say now currently we are looking at the major. They say let's take a look at the average pip movement of the major currency pairs during each trading session. So they've given us all the pairs, all the major pairs, and how to spot the major pairs. From the last video we did say that major pairs, was it the last video? I think it was that on the major pairs there's always a USD somewhere. There's always a USD somewhere. So that's how you spot a major pair. It always has USD. Confused with this one. Okay, then from here we are having cross pairs. These are not majors. These are cross pairs. Then all those ones are marked in green, they are majors because they have USD in them, and then these ones are cross pairs, which are also minor pairs, right? So they've given us everything all in one. So they say they've given us the pairs, they've given us the sessions over here, the Tokyo, the London, and the New York, the top 3. So according to them, Euro USD moves 76 pips on the Tokyo session, it moves 114 on the London, it moves 92 pips on the New York, right? And if you look at it going down, they say Euro Swiss franc, when the Tokyo opens it moves 79 pips, London 109 pips, New York. So this is also let me clean it. This is also for you to make a screenshot. You can just make a screenshot so that you can always know what happens when the market opens, which pairs move the most, so that you can know when this maybe London opens. When we look at this one, Euro USD, Euro. So looking at it, the one that moves the most is this one. So during the London session, GBP JPY, you should pay close attention to it because it moves the most. So GBP JPY is the one that moves the most. And which one is next? Euro JPY. Okay, that was not clean. The Euro JPY, it moves 129, and the GBP USD, and then the Euro USD, Euro Swiss franc, yep, ODJPY, and USD Swiss franc. So that's just about that, guys. It's going to help you to understand that which pairs move the most in a particular or at a pair trading session. That's what I'm trying to say. Which pairs move the most per trading session? So they say from the table from here, we are reading from this. They say from the table you will see that the European session normally provides the most movement. So according to them, I believe also you took a screenshot. So they're telling you now that the European sessions normally provides the most movement. Then they say let's take a more in-depth look at each of the sessions as well as those periods when the sessions overlap. So now maybe they are okay. Now they are taking us a bit deeper to explain those sessions in detail. So now we are going to read here. This is the Tokyo session. By the way, they say the opening of the Asian session at 7 p.m. EST marked the start of Forex clock. So now you know the Forex clock, it starts at 7 p.m. EST and it starts with the Tokyo session. Then they say you should take note that Tokyo session is sometimes referred to as the Asian session. So if you don't want to say Tokyo, you say Asian sessions, right? Because Tokyo is the financial capital of Asia, and they're giving you the reason why sometimes it's called Asian session. Then to the next one, they say one thing worth noticing is that Japan is the 3rd largest Forex trading center in the world. So Japan is a country in Asia. Japan, yeah, it is the 3rd largest Forex trading center in the world. So you need to know that. So they say it's worth to notice. So you need to keep that at the back of your head whenever you try to, maybe, I don't know, but you need to know that it's a fact. It's a fact. And then they say this shouldn't be too surprising since the yen is the third most traded currency. So it shouldn't be surprising. The yen is the most traded currency. So they're telling you that the yen is the most traded currency. So you know, we have a dollar, we have a euro, we have pound, we have, and then they say the yen is the third most traded, right? They say partaking in the 16.50 of all forex transaction. Overall, about 21% of all forex transaction take place during this session. So during the Asian session, 21% of all of the transaction take place, right? And then they say below is a table of Asian session pip range of the major currency pairs. So now they are taking us, they will be giving us a table for the Asian session only, right? And this is what it looked like. You can also take a screenshot if you feel like you're going to need this one in the future. So when the Tokyo opens, this is the pip range. So the GBP JPY moves a lot, Euro JPY moves a lot, and then the others move as well, right? So you take a screenshot of that one. I won't go to it. So they say here some key characteristics that you should know about the Tokyo session, right? So this also you can take a screenshot so that you can also read it on your own. They say action isn't always limited to Japanese shore. Tons of forex transactions are made in other financial hotspots like Hong Kong, Singapore, and Sydney. So Hong Kong, Singapore, and Sydney are financial hotspot. They say the main market participants during the Tokyo session are commercial companies, exporters, and then in brackets they say the central banks and the central banks. They say, remember, Japanese economy is heavily export dependent, and with China also being a major trade player, there are a lot of transactions taking place at a daily basis. They say liquidity can sometimes be very thin. There will be times when trading during this period will look like fishing. So fishing is difficult according to them, right? Hence they're making an example about fishing. They say you might have to wait a long time before getting a nibble. Maybe that's a small thing. It says it is more likely that you will see stronger moves in Asian Pacific currencies pairs like AUD USD and NZD USD. So on the Asian session, you should look out for these two pairs. You might see a lot of movement, right? As opposite to 9 Asian Pacific pairs like GBP. So these ones are not much moving. So they say during those times of thin liquidity, most pairs may stick within a range. So they may stick within a range. This provides opportunities for short day traders or potential breakout traders trades later in the day. They say most of the action takes place early in the session. So when the session opens, you should be there, so that, because they're telling you that most of the action takes place early in the session when more economic data is released. They say moves in Tokyo session could set the tone for the rest of the day. So maybe you should know this. They say Tokyo session sometimes it sets the mood or the tone of the day. So they say traders in later sessions will look at what happened during the Tokyo session to help organize. So guys, these are pretty much characteristics, right? They are characteristics of the Asian session. These are characteristics of the Asian session. So you will just make a screenshot. Let me do it like this. Make a screenshot. Yeah. So they say, which pairs should you trade? So now they are answering that question. Which pairs should you trade? They say since the Tokyo session is when the news from Australia, New Zealand, and Japan comes out, this presents a good opportunity to trade news events. So they say it presents you with a good opportunity to trade news events. They say also there could be more movement in yen pairs. In yen pairs, there could be a lot of movement is changing hands as Japanese companies are conducting business. Take note that China is also economic superpower. So whenever news comes out of China, it tends to create volatile movements with Australia, Japan. So these are the pairs: AUD, JPY. So you need to look out for these Australian pairs and these Japanese pairs, right? The yen. The yen. I'm trying to save time, guys. This is why I am not dwelling a lot. I'm trying to save time. It looks like a lot of things. So now we are on the London session. Let's hear what they have to say. Let me scroll down so we get the whole thing. They say now, just when Asian market participants are starting to close shops, their European counterparts are just beginning their day, which is the London. They say, while there are several financial centers all around Europe, it is London that market participants keep their eye on. So according to Baby Pips, market participants, they keep their eyes on London open. So maybe there is a lot of money when the London opens. They say historically London has always been at a center of trade thanks to its strategic location. It's no wonder that it is considered the forex capital. So it's the forex capital. You need to know that London is the forex capital of it, guys. They say of the world, with thousands of businessmen. They say thousands of businessmen making transactions every single minute. They say about 30% of all forex transactions happen during the London session. So 30% of all the transaction of forex happen during the London session. And then they give us a table like they gave us in the one for the Asian, and then also on this one I will not get into detail. We'll take a screenshot, and then let me give you some time to take a screenshot. You will need that one, right? And then these are the facts. Let's just read a few. They say because the London session crosses with two other major trading sessions, and the London being such a key financial center, a large chunk of forex transactions take place during this time. This leads to high volatile liquidity and potentially lower transaction cost, e.g. lower pip spread. So they say if you want to trade with a small account, according to them, London is good because there is a lower pip spread, right? There is low spread at that time. And then the second one, they say due to the large amount of transactions that take place, the London transaction session is normally the most volatile session. So London is normally the most. And then they say most trends begin during the London session, and they typically continue until the beginning of the New York session. So London, in most times, you will see a beginning of a trend, and they will continue until the New York session. And which pairs you should trade, you will take a screenshot, but these are the pairs. They've outlined them here. They say of course it may be best to stick with the majors, as these normally have tight spread, right? So that's what they say, and you should believe that it's true, guys. They know what they're talking about. Now we are on the New York session. They say right as European traders are getting back from their lunch breaks, the US session begins at 8 a.m. EST as traders start rolling into the office, right? They say just like Asia and Europe, the US session has one major financial center that the market keep their eye on, right? They say we are talking, of course, about the city that never sleeps. So New York is the city that never sleeps, the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, right? That's what they say about New York. So it should be a really busy place. They say below is a table like they did on the Asian and the London. So you are going to take a screenshot to know what which pairs to look out for the New York sessions, and how much they move. They say here are the tips you should know about trading the US session. These are the facts. They say there is high liquidity during the morning. So in the morning there is high liquidity. Maybe that's when the market opens, as it overlaps with the European session. So when it overlaps with the European session, there is high liquidity. And then they say Most economic reports are released near the start of New York session. That's a fact. Remember, about 85% of all trades involve the dollar. So if you didn't know, New York is in the United States, and they use a dollar. So a dollar moves a lot at that time. So whenever big time new US economic data is released, it has the potential to move the market. That's what they say, it has the potential. It doesn't move, it has the potential. So it can, it might not, it might not, right? Once European markets close shop, liquidity and volatility tends to die down during the afternoon US session. So you also make a screenshot of this one for your own good, of course, and for you to always remember them. And then which pairs should you trade? So they say, take note that there will be a ton of liquidity as both US and European markets will be open at the same time. You can bet the banks and multinational companies are burning up the telephone wires, meaning they are busy. They are very busy. And then they say this allows you to trade virtually any pair, although it would be best if you stuck to the major pairs, to the major and minor pairs, and avoid those weird ones, which the weird ones are exotic pairs, right? Yeah, you will know about those ones also. They say also, because the US dollar is on the other side of the majority of transactions, everybody will be paying attention to the US data that is released. Should these reports come in better or worse than expected, it could dramatically shake up the market, as the dollar will be jumping up and down. So that's what we learned today. I really hope you found this one valuable and you did take the screenshot. So here we have session overlaps, and they explain about the session overlaps, Tokyo, London. So if you want to know about these ones, guys, comment down below for me to drop a video on this, on the session overlaps. I wasn't planning on doing that, because if you know about the sessions themselves, I guess you can figure how you can trade the overlaps. But if you want me to read it out loud for you guys and make a video in it, comment down below. And guys, please do like this video, share it if you can, recommend the channel to your friends, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post next time, you get notified. Thank you for watching this far. If you are watching up to this far, guys, I love you so much. It helps me, it helps the channel also to grow. And yeah, that's just about that, guys. Thank you.